Hey there, welcome to episode 27 of the Let's Innovate for Vegas podcast audio program. Today is August 25th. It's Friday. I think the weather has subsided. Things are looking okay. Flooding wasn't so bad. Sorry, Mount Charleston folks. Boil your water up there, and let's hope infrastructure is not merely fiber optic cable. I'm your host, Dan Hugo, the managing director of the Innovate for Vegas Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to enabling and encouraging and elevating our entrepreneurial innovation ecosystem, promoting civic volunteerism and hackathons. Lots of projects to make local innovation a reality. Maybe with local innovators, maybe with people beyond Nevada. Today we're going to be catching up on the upcoming International Space Apps Challenge for 2023. This is part 4, basically adding on to the previous parts. There's some repetition because it's, I don't expect people to listen to all 4 episodes. If you jump in today, you'll have the basic idea. And plus, you should be going to our sign up page anyway. There's a link in the show notes. You may not be able to see the show notes. Various podcast clients and such are not good at that. We're going to be addressing that. That will be a topic for next week. Stay tuned. So, October 7th, that's when the actual hackathon takes place. It is 38 hours and 59 minutes, contiguous. A lot of people are not familiar with the all-nighter hackathon. In my travels, I've encountered argument. I don't have time for such things, they say. Probably aiming at more of the student. College students would be great. Getting to UNLV is tricky here, getting the word out. Working very closely with Tristan Hayes at the Clark County School District to get the word out to the high school aged students here. Love to have some elementary and junior high. Do we have junior highs here? Any age friendly this event is. And so if you are interested, you should join in. And there are prizes, so hey, why not? The last time the International Space App Challenge, which I have taken to call the ISAC, frankly, I'm surprised that NASA doesn't do that. They're as much as any other space agency, and probably more so, they're very much into the abbreviations, which is utilitarian. It keeps communications with vehicles in space, people in space, also brief and focused. If you're a space shuttle fan, you know the RCS, the OMS, and the STS, the Space Transportation System. All those things, SRBs, solid rocket boosters, all these things have short names, abbreviations, acronyms to make efficiency a possibility. The last time the ISAC was held in Las Vegas, it's a global event, but the last time there was a Las Vegas event was 2021. I had mistakenly thought it was 2019. I think I've been saying that a few times here and there. It's 2021. There was no event in Las Vegas in 2019 that I can find. There were 28 participants signed up. I don't know if they actually participated. There were 12 people on 4 different teams that actually submitted projects for the final. The local events are the beginning of a tiered judging scheme. To give you some idea, the winners for 2022, the global winners, I think however they label them, I will know that soon enough. They were announced in April of 2023. So it's an ongoing effort. It's not just one and done. It's something to keep in mind. So I have actually looked for the 12 people. I found one person on LinkedIn, apparently still in Vegas. So we're mostly starting with a fresh population of participants. I will tell you as of today, as of Friday morning, it's not even 9 a.m. We have 11 people signed up. Signing up in Vegas means very little, so we'll see how that goes. And then one of those people used a throwaway or a burner or spam rejecting email address, so it's not a real email address. It expired 10 minutes after that person created it, so I can't contact that person. And then another person signed up as a show of support, not likely to actually participate. So I will say we have 9 people signed up today, hoping to get that number into double digits. Triple digits would be great. So let's talk about the challenges. So every year, NASA presents challenges that are eligible for the judging process, the multi-tiered for prizes and so on. Prizes, fame, and fortune. This year, there are 31 challenges, including the sort of do-it-yourself, self-described or self-defined challenge, which is not eligible for the global competition. You can do it if nothing else is appealing, but it will not be compared against other project submissions. I will say, and I will read it, there are 30 specifically defined challenges. And for those who actually check out the challenge page, which is linked in the show notes as well, and is also linked on our sign-up page, which is also linked in our show notes, and which I've been sharing with people whenever I talk to them, NASA will provide open data and other resources for each of the challenges, but they're waiting because one of the rules, which I actually support, is you're not supposed to bring completed work to the hackathon. Sort of like NASCAR or Formula One, maybe if you're here in Vegas. You don't begin the race before everybody else does, right? So 9 a.m. October 7th in your local time zone. So ours will be Pacific time, Pacific daylight, if you're extra concerned. So Pacific daylight time, that will apply to anyone who participates in our virtual event. So it'll be the time zone of the event itself, not where you are. Let me read. I selected one of the 30 to give you a flavor. It's the title of the challenge is called Everything Starts with Water. Seems appropriate. The challenges are very thinly described. It'd be nice if they were numbered, or if they had anchor links, or if there was any way to link directly to them with anchor links. But it is what it is. So Everything Starts with Water is the title of the challenge. It's got a picture of the Earth. So if you do visit the challenge page, it's in the upper. Let me tell you right now, in fact. The number of challenges is subject to change. When they first launched the challenge page, it was 30. And then later in the day on the 24th, so this is the day after they launched the challenge announcement, it was 30 at the beginning and 31 at the end. So not even sure which one they added. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I can still count. So the 10th one, that's subject to change. Everything Starts with Water. It is shown to be beginner youth. I don't know why they say beginner youth. You can be a beginner and be older than me even. So difficulty, beginner, youth, intermediate, and advanced. So you can do with this project as you will. The subjects listed are arts, climate, diversity and equity, earth, games, and software. I wonder if there's hardware in there, because water, moisture sensors, humidity sensors. Earth has 370 quintillion gallons of water, but only 0.01% of that is fresh water that we can use. Use is tricky. I think you can use salt water for something. Anyway, as climate change alters the global water cycle, nowhere more true than here in the Las Vegas area, the Southern Nevada area, this precious resource is in danger of becoming even more scarce. Your challenge is to create a visual tool to help students better understand the complete path of water across the entire Earth system. Thank you, word wrap. Across the entire Earth system, and how the availability, I can't read this morning, and how the availability of this critical resource is affected by our changing climate. So this could very easily apply to Southern Nevada specifically. This is a project that Innovate for Vegas Foundation could easily have implemented for our Earth Day, which I relabeled Earth Month, in keeping with our month-long project focus, in early 2022. Got no interest, unfortunately. So we'll see how this goes here. But so everything starts with water. It's looking at water on the Earth. If you're tracking the news, is there water on the moon? I guess the probe from India might take a look at that. They landed on the south pole of the moon, the Earth moon, Luna, recently. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. So maybe they can check that out. And then there's other stuff going on Mars, so we'll see what happens there. A lot of interesting stuff. But water's good. Water's good to have around, and so this is a generally interesting topic, not only for Southern Nevada, but for the entire planet, and for those traveling off of it. So check that one out. But there's, like I said, there's 30 plus the. In fact, let me just read that real quick. It's create your own challenge. Has no subject keywords, of course. Difficulty is what you make of it, and it's quite literally, it's create your own challenge. Participants are invited to create their own challenge to tackle, but these are not eligible for global judging. There you go. Keep it simple. Let me get back to my notes. Thank you. So it's important to realize, though, that teams with diverse skill sets, so not everybody has to be a coder. If you have a diverse skill set and interests, and you are interested in this project, right? Your team picks a project that you all are, I will say, excited by. You're all looking to tackle it, not necessarily for the prizes, but for the achievement, the accomplishment of submitting something. By the way, you could always complete your project later. If you were to take on that water challenge, everything starts with water, and you found that you were actually interested in this, perhaps you could build a tool or an application or a visualization that would inform the people of Southern Nevada about the status of Lake Mead and other water in general. That might be something that you're into. So you should consider the journey of the projects to be commencing at the hackathon and not necessarily ending there. So the hackathon itself, excuse me, is, I will call it a traditional hackathon. It's the sort of thing that people imagine when you say the word hackathon, if they know what you're talking about at all. It's an all-nighter. It is a 38-hour, 59-minute event. It starts at 9 in the morning on October 7th. I say pencils up. So at 9 a.m. sharp, the event in the Pacific time zone, 9 a.m. Well, it starts at 9 a.m. everywhere, but in the local time zone. So 9 a.m. Pacific time, the Las Vegas event kicks off, pencils up. And if we have multiple locations, we'll have, everybody begins at the same time. And ideally, we will have multiple people in each location and so on. Hackathons are always more fun when there's a bunch of people around. Sort of like when you go to a sporting event or a concert or anything where there's a crowd, there's a social energy to build on, and there's people to collaborate with. You can always, especially if you're working on different projects, you can always, or same projects, it doesn't matter. I have yet to be at a hackathon. I attended about 47 hackathons while I was with Intel. People that participate in hackathons, even if there were prizes at stake, which is sometimes, not always, substantial prizes sometimes. Other times, an Amazon gift card, which is still a prize. When there's prizes at stake, it doesn't turn it into a competitive melee. It turns it into still helping each other out. So the social aspect ultimately ends up being, you could say, co-opetition is in effect. So yeah, you're competing for prizes, but everybody helps each other. I've never seen anyone not jump in and offer an answer or some assistance, or I'll let you, here, borrow my pen, whatever the case is. We may also have a satellite location in California. I've mentioned this before, and we had a podcast already. Mary Norris and I had an episode 3 weeks ago. Mary's joined our board and is helping us reach out beyond Nevada for collaboration. And one of these days we'll have a more in-depth discussion about Code for America and the brigades and their change, which has left many people who are civic volunteers looking for something to do. I digress. Pencils down at 11:59 p.m. sharp on October 8th. So that starts Saturday morning. It ends right at the end of October 8th. That's Sunday night. And then you submit your project for judging. Judgment day. If you do not finish, do not despair. Like I said, you can continue working on it. You just can't submit it for the judging. But if you and your team find that you enjoy what you're working on, keep going. Maybe it'll be something you work on through, months, weeks, months, the year, more. I'm not kidding when I say I have known people that attend hackathons. They build a team after several rounds. There's a person that used to go to Intel events frequently. He eventually became an Intel hackathon star or something. So kind of on the inner circle, not an employee, but super fan. And eventually his team and he was in Vegas several times too. There were always hackathons going on in Vegas before the pandemic. Unfortunately, he and his team went on to start a company. So once you discover that you can work well together and you can innovate together and you can collaborate, all those good things, suddenly you find that your idea might have some legs and you pursue it. Totally allowed. Although I will say you should read the terms of service and all that for the hackathon. NASA, when you submit it, NASA has rights to your work too. It's basically open source projects. So keep that in mind. I will say I have known people who decide not to submit their project at a hackathon, not this one, but in general, the general case. If you decide, we would like to turn this into a thing, a commercial project, or retain ownership rights, whatever. So consider that. If you have questions about that, let's talk about that. During the hackathon, if you are able to, you will have a better time. Your team will have a better time if you have already had a conversation, if you already have met or know each other, and if you have prepared ahead of time. So if you are, failure to plan is planning to fail. Prior preparation prevents bad performance. Keeping it clean. So if you do have the time ahead of time and you're planning to participate, then take some time to go over these challenges, go over the previous year's challenges. Like I said, there will be resources available per challenge. So if you look at the previous years, and those are linked in our Discord server, where else did I put them? We'll talk about it tomorrow, the 27th of August. It will be too late by the time you hear this, surely. But on August 27th, 26th, you'd think there's a computer right in front of me with dates and stuff on it. August 26th, we are meeting at the International Innovation Center and online to talk about the upcoming event. It's a hackathon information meetup. It replaces our normal monthly hackathon meetup that we've been having there for just over a year, about 15 months-ish, I think, at the Innovation Center. So we will answer some questions. I think I sent an invite out to about 40 people who have indicated interest. So we'll see. The practice hackathon we will have on the 23rd and 24th of September at the International Innovation Center. Is going to be a dry run. I cannot promise that there will be any sponsorship for snacks. I hope so by then. But we'll have a dry run. So it will commence just like October 7th. It will commence at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time still. And it will end at 11:59 p.m. on September 24th. So we'll be at the Innovation Center. You are welcome to participate remotely, but just the fact that we have this opportunity to give it a dry run will help you and your team understand what goes into it, how the time passes very quickly, and the value of having prepared ahead of time, right? So if you arrive at the hackathon 9 a.m., the event has already started. If you have not already read and prepared ahead of time, you are wondering where to click on links and what to read and what to go over. And, have you even assembled your team yet? Have you ever met? Have you talked about what you're going to work on? Have you done any research? Have you done anything? Those people will be fairly obviously visible in person or online. Frantic questions and so on. So if you go through this practice hackathon, and again, you can do it remotely. You don't have to be at the Innovation Center, but we'll be chilling at the Innovation Center, just like the real thing. And in fact, if all goes to plan, our booked professional stand-up comedian, Alex Just, is planning to stop by at some point. We'll see how that goes. And I can't underscore enough, though. Be ready ahead of time, even for the practice hackathon. So flip through the challenges. We'll basically pretend it'll be a simulation. This is a space app, so it'll be a simulation of the actual hackathon. So we'll look at the actual topics. We can actually compare this year's challenges to previous years. Maybe we can come up with some strategies about how to attack problem solving or solution implementation methodologies, right? Like I said, I've been to many hackathons. Some of them have been really interesting. They're all educational, but some outcomes have been fairly impressive given the time constraints. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And you and your team will have an opportunity to try it out. You will not be attending your very first all-nighter hackathon on the day of. So there you go. That's where I'm going to leave it today. My allergies have been going nuts. The weather in Vegas is nuts. I'm nuts. You're nuts. That didn't sound right. We are going to have our information meeting, like I said, on the 26th. It will be online, but if you're listening to this now, you probably missed it. We'll have another online edition of the meeting before September 23rd. Another information meeting probably about the second week of September. If you visit our website, innovateforvegas.org, that's a good start. It does and will have more links and information about the event. And we will have another thing that I've been pondering when it comes to app challenges. And then we'll talk about that later too. I've put in the show notes again links to the challenges that I've been describing today. The one that I went into slight detail with. Those are all the details available, by the way. Like I said, there will be resources and other information, and as the big day approaches and on day of, there'll be a lot more to start with. But you should at least become familiar with what open data is, how to work with it. Sometimes you'll want to be coding. Other times you can just use a spreadsheet, or maybe not even that. Some of the projects involve storytelling, which is a presentation, an infographic. So if you have any sort of aesthetic and can tell a story visually or audio, you are more than welcome. Don't think of this as a coder hackathon. It is a everyone hackathon. I also linked to the 2021 Las Vegas event. There will be the project submitted, the teams, the people who are on the teams, and then you can review the challenges from 2021. So I provided that link as well. We'll talk about all of this between now and October 7th. And so even if you missed this podcast and the information meetup on the 26th, stay tuned. If you are actively interested in participating in this event, we are here for you. Please do share this podcast with others. I thank you for listening, muddling through my allergy, my allergies inflicted on my voice, inflicted on you. It's annoying. Usually in the morning, my voice is a little bit better. So anyway, thank you again for listening. And I look forward to large rooms full of many people hacking away on 2023 NASA Space Apps challenges. Bye-bye.